Hello friends. So in this tutorial we will going to learn about the structs. Structs are just like a structure for storing the data in the C Sharp. In our previous video tutorial we have talked about the classes. So now I am going to talk about the structs. There is a difference between the classes and the struct. These two works like a similar, but there is a so many differences between classes and structs. I will let you know in the code, but basically whenever you need to write a code for a project where you need a small data type storage, then you can use a struct because it is a value type, but classes are like a reference type. So uh, there are more other significance for using the classes because it's a reference type. Okay, so let's move to the code. This is the simple .NET Console application, and now I'm going to create the structure. This is the struct, and this struct will you can create the struct in any classes. Like I have created this class program, and now I'm going to create the struct. So basically the default access modifier for the struct is simple public. Struct is a keyword which .NET Assembly provide, and you can give the name. Like I'm creating this struct for the coordinate, for example. So, and it's just a similar like class. Okay, you can give the access modifier or you cannot give the. So by default it's considered as a public. Okay, so in this struct I am going to define the properties. For example, public int x for the x angle and public int y for the y angle, y axis. Okay, so using this you can create the structs. Now I'm going to use the struct, and I'm going to instantiate in the main function because this is the entry point of the application. Okay, now I'm removing this line hello world. For instantiation, just like a classes, you in our previous video, if you have not seen the video of the classes, please, I will prefer like please go to that video and learn about the classes and their uses. Okay, so just like a classes, you are going to instantiate the struct also. For example, I'm going to make this as a point. I'm going to giving this name as a point. Okay, oh sorry. So coordinate point equals to new coordinate. Fine. So what it's showing, like the variable point is assigned but its value is never used. So whenever you create any assignments and if it's not using, then it's give you a warning. It's not error, it's a warning. So for example, I'm going to print console dot write line, and I'm going to print the by default value of this point struct x. Okay, and same as this, oh, I'm going to print for the point y. Okay, let's run this, what it will show. It will give you a by default value 0 0 because I have told you like structs are like a value type. So by default the values of the value of the value type data type are like a 0. For example, integers values by default is 0. It's not a null. But in case of classes or in case of reference type, its value by default will be null, not 0. Okay, so now I'm going to assign the value point dot x equals to 10, let's say, and point dot y equals to 20. Okay, now let's see. After this, what will be? It will show the by default value is 0 0 because I have not assigned any value to them, and after assignment of these values of x and y, it's showing the 10 and 20 as expected. Okay, so these are the struct. This is just a small demo. You can create your own struct, and you can use those structs in any class. So I'm going to let you know some more properties of the structs. Okay, so it's like a key points for nodes of the structs. For example, uh, just like a classes, they have a inheritance properties, but in the structs, it don't have the inheritance property. Let's say I'm going to create one struct for let's suppose a name is a point. Okay, and I am going to inherit the previous struct, that is the coordinate. Okay, what it will give? It will give an error. Coordinate in interface list is not an interface because structs don't inheritance properties, so you cannot inherit the structs. So this is the drawback of the structs. And struct can include the constructors, your constant, as just like the classes, and you can create a method or properties and indexers and operators, so many things, just like classes in struct, but you cannot inherit them. And events, they have some events and nested types you can provide in the structs. And other thing is that struct can implement interfaces same as the classes. Okay, like class can inherit the interfaces, so structs, they can also implement the interfaces. Okay, and struct cannot inherit another struct or classes, as I already told you, like they don't have the inheritance feature just like a classes. And a struct member cannot be specified as an abstract. For example, if you define this as an abstract, then it will give you error, like you cannot define as an abstract. Just like a classes can be abstract, but structs cannot be abstract or sealed. I will let you know about the sealed and abstract, these type of things, in our next videos. So basically you cannot define these type of keywords like virtual or protected. Okay, and sealed and abstract to these the structs. So basically structs are like a small storage of the data type, which are basically the data type of the value type. Okay, thank